Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd show an update of this Star Trek-like ship, very much like Star Trek ship. So I've been working on some more things. I didn't get really any time to work on anything yesterday. I was away pretty much all day yesterday. So I've been working on the saucer portion of it, and it's kind of what I came up with so far. Um, it's definitely it's not finished yet. It's just kind of preliminary, trying to make it look pretty and trying to get the shaping down and add in some elements. So what I did do is yeah, obviously you probably see a bunch of these, a few of these retractable turrets in here. There's I think four there. I got another one there, a couple more over here, a couple off to the sides. I also built up these little housings over here that hold some advanced laser cannons behind that, and a blast door, and then xenoblocks on the insides. Um, so there's four of those now too. Now the other launchers I was planning on putting behind this section over here, and that would be for your main damaging launchers. These would be mainly for like reducing shields. Um, so then I also started working on the nacelles here, and I basically I wanted to use the XL thrusters. So I crammed in as many as I could in the current form of the nacelles here. So I've got it's pretty balanced thrust. You've got two reverse thrusts, two forward, two strafing, two up, and two down thrusters. So it's very balanced that way right now. And then in addition to that, I do have a couple regular large thrusters also in the rear part of the saucer. Um, Now, what I was thinking is this may not have enough lift thrust because I only have two XL lift thrusters. So I got a pretty simple solution for that that I'll probably do when I get to working on this a little bit more again, and that is maybe to copy and paste the back parts of these nacelles and make them longer so I can fit in another lift thruster in there. I like the idea of keeping all the thrusters out in these nacelles. I think that'll be helpful. I'm trying to hide them, so a lot of these may have like grates or something over them as well in the end. And then there's like on the surface. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'm trying to be conscious of weight while I'm building this. So as you can see, there's carbon substrate here, but on the inside of that, this whole layer here is, I guess you can't see it, but there's a whole layer of xenoblocks right on the underside of that before it gets to the thrusters. So, I don't know if I should use carbon substrate because it would provide additional protection having some hardened steel here too. But I'm also really trying to keep the weight down, so I'm just got to take some sacrifices. And like some other builds that I've done, certain little blocks here and there, usually really tiny things like this. Oh, I guess that one I got in hardened steel. Yeah, I wanted this area defended. I think I built all that out of hardened steel. But there are some in some minor places that have carbon substrate for some of these little wedge blocks and things like that in various places, just trying to keep the weight down. And obviously, I'm having to kind of rebuild these too because these thrusters are so big that they're bigger than the nacelle areas I was trying to fit them in. So I'm trying to keep the objective of keeping the nacelles seem kind of thin yet, but yet still accommodating all these great big thrusters in them. And I think it's kind of working. I had to bolt it out a little bit over here to fit these the strafing thrusters, but sort of working. Okay, so then I ran into an issue, and then I was looking at like the where the thruster goes, and it rams right into the saucer. And at that point in time, I'm like, oh, that's bad. So what I did at first is I did some copy and paste, and I took these and I moved them down and kind of over a couple blocks over this way, and which cleared the saucer, so it no longer would, the thrust won't run into the saucer, even though it's a distance away. I still don't want it like blocked like that. So after I did that modification, it looked really funky to me. So then I broke down. I went out to the internet and looked at some Star Trek Enterprise-like ships or the Enterprise itself, and then I realized that they always seem to have the nacelles just slightly above the saucer on the top, and I didn't have that going on here. So I was go to the next version. So now this one, I did just that. I raised the nacelles up, and I had to bring them on one block higher yet because there's a retractable turret here, and I didn't want that out, the thrust to even interfere with that, even though it's that far away. So I made that mod, and I'm like, yeah, that looks pretty good. If you take a look at it from the front, I think it looks actually better than what it did look, because when you look at it from the front over here, it hides the nacelles behind the saucer. And here, they pop up above the saucer like it should be done, according to, the sci-fi and the Star Trek shows. But now this created a new problem. And that is, I no longer like my extension arms because I think they're just way too long and skinny, and I really, really want them angled a little back like this, going in that direction, but at that same angle coming out from the hull. So I'm going to try to rebuild these again, this part of it again, and reattach these nacelles maybe a little bit further away from where they are now. And also the nacelles will probably be a little bit longer due to I want to get that extra couple lift thrusters in there. So that's kind of where I'm at now. It's not impossible to do the angle that I'm looking at. It's just before when I was doing it, it really it made more for a bulky design, and I didn't really like it, and I thought these thinner ones looked better, but that was until, of course, I stretched them out and raised them up so they would not interfere with the saucer, and then it kind of changed the game, and now I don't like them anymore. So that's kind of where I'm at. No, I have not done the bottom side of the saucer any detail. I just kind of mass filled this in with blocks. There's no turrets or nothing here. I also lowered the saucer down one block from where it was here, trying to split the difference so I didn't have to raise the nacelles quite as much. So this is actually one block lower on how it sits, and I got to fix all the block work around there when I copied and pasted it too. You can see it's not connected here anymore. But yeah, just try to get these proportions and shapings and things down, and I think I'll be pretty good then. I mean, most of the body's probably done. I gotta put a few more hours into it though to try to tweak out things, add little details, and then from there, I gotta figure out how to exactly to skin it or texture it, color it, and things like that. Now, Star Trek ships are typically white or off-white. I don't think the texturing is gonna be too bad. They're not that complicated of a thing to texture, really. I think I can pretty much go with my normal human texturing style, just a little bit whiter and it'll probably work. And then when I was setting this area up here too, I wanted to preserve some flat area around the front of this area to try to put in some neat LCDs to do like a half circle round name of whatever the ship's going to be called. And I don't know what it's going to be called yet. I don't have a name picked out for it yet. I didn't want to call it Enterprise because it's not really the Enterprise, and it's not trying to be a replica of the Enterprise, although it does have a lot of similarities for sure. But I think I can get by with a little bit longer nacelles to get those thrusters in. The biggest thing I'm just going to have to figure out how to get it done is getting these things like angled out a little bit, going that way, and and make them look proportionally correct to the rest of the ship the way it is. So yeah, I just wanted to show a quick update here, and I'm probably going to jump back into the game itself and play a little bit on the server here after I get this video uploaded, and I'll probably do another video on that too. Now right now I'm really annoyed with the game I was in earlier. I discovered something that caused me a lot of heartache and death on a POI, so I decided to hit a POI. Well, you know what? I won't talk about that in this video. I'll talk about that in the other video. So anyway, you all have yourself a good day. I'm not gone yet. I'll be back for a little more later today. All right. Adios.